Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, let's get the microphone in place so y'all can hear me proper. I'll give it a few minutes to see who signed up so we can get everyone going. Meanwhile, tab audio is good on my end. So it's Friday afternoon, the last Friday Fandemonium of 2023. We can hopefully your 2024s will be good. I'll start out slow. I'm doing a few background things while I wait to see. So we'll give it to 3:05 and just do some little chit chatty stuff. Right now, I'm working on converting some videos. I got Grim, so I want to convert that into my compressed H.265 format, so it doesn't take up. So H.264, which is where you rip stuff from Blu-ray in default format, is gigantic. Like um one 1 hour TV episode at 1080p in H.264 is about 2 to 5 gigabytes, depending upon how much data density is in there. And I would have, I don't know if you can see it. Mm, let me get it. It's, you can see like on my rack there. Yep, right on the top of my rack, right there is my data storage device, and it is I have 8 terabyte drives in there right now, and that works fine. I still have about 2 terabytes left from the RAID array that I store my media and others and my backups and all on. I do plan on upgrading it in 2024, or maybe from the 8 terabytes to the let's say, depending on what's on sale. Because if I had done this 2 months ago, there was a good dollar per gigabyte purchase for 14 terabyte discs. So I would have actually got 5 of those for other reasons, but even though that can only take 4. But when I do this, say after tax return, because that's probably when I'll do it, because I'll get enough to get most of the just then, is I will probably get whatever's price per gigabyte, and I'll try hopefully get maybe double the 16s, and that'll be enough capacity for, because I'm starting to buy a lot of 4K media, and that's huge. Um, but anyway, when you rip a Blu-ray at an H.264, it's 2 to 5 gigabytes per 1 hour rip, and that if I did that, I'd have to have like, instead of the 4 8 terabyte discs, I'd have to have which with the array would give me 23 gigabytes terabytes out of that because of the one redundancy. Um, I'd have to have closer to 100 terabytes just to store my Blu-ray rips. So what I do is after I rip them from the Blu-ray, I convert them to H.264 and from H.264 to H.265, and under H.265, because I have a powerful enough server to serve that codec in my house, and my family had no problem with it when they watched the streaming media. A 1 hour high def show goes from 2 to 5 gigabytes consistently to about 600 to 700K. Like less than megabytes rather. So yeah, it's quite worth it. Now it's almost a 3:03. I don't see anyone popping in, but I'll wait to 3:05 to do do anything I usually do, as it were. What else? Oh, so the other, like I said, I'm getting set with a conversion right now. That's the main thing I was aiming for. Presets, and I use a program called Handbrake. Can I share this? Let us try share screen window. Yep. Okay. So this is, let's see if you guys can see that. Okay, kind of tiny looking. This is on a virtual machine. This is I'm remote desktop RDP into into my server, into a VM that runs Handbrake too. Okay, my server is powerful enough that I can run these in VMs. So I'm setting Handbrake. I picked the codec that I want to convert to, which is H.265 MKV 1080 be by 30 frames per second. But then, because video is not always 30 frames per second, I say match the source, average bitrate. I compress this down to like, I can't see a difference going down to like 1700, right? Turbo first pass, audio. I always, once I get a lot of anime and these are default settings, I'll do this. I'll go, English, Japanese, save, subtitles, all matching, English, Japanese, save. And then I'll open source, open folder, and I have all of those are in this folder already. So let's see if this shows. Yeah. So I already have them in the destination folder. So I'll select the folder, and you see it's picking all the files that are in there. And the first part of this goes fast. It just loads a list of the files. Then it's going to scan each file to determine the settings based on what I programmed in. That with 66 files, which is I basically bought Grimm on Blu-ray, got it used basically, and Grimm the TV show, Grimm. I've been thinking about watching it again. So I saw like the whole. So someone was like selling it for like $20 for the whole series because they were used Blu-rays. So I picked that up, and maybe 25 somewhere around there, plus some shipping. I think it was like $4 shipping or something. Anyway, so and this is basically seasons 2, 3, and 4. That I already mostly converted season 1. That's going on over here. Or you see Grimm 1920 and then Monarch in that queue. That's I basically have 2 virtual. Because a Handbrake doesn't scale well past 8 CPUs, so I make instead of having one giant Handbrake that has 16 or 20 CPUs, virtual CPUs, I made 2 that have I think 8 or 10 CPUs. We can look. The 2 8s. So, Handbrake just doesn't seem to scale well past 8 CPUs currently, right? So I have two with 8 virtual CPUs. The server has 24 physical CPUs, and then all I have to do is add all. See that's and then starting code. Give it a few seconds to get the queue going, and it'll do all those files like automatically, and then they'll appear in my alpha folder over here, where Grimm is currently being put out. Okay, so it's 3:07. Let's get this show started. Okay, we'll stop screen share. So what's up? What's up first? Well, first let's show off some Christmas swag. I'll start with one of the smaller, cooler things. My brother got me this. Basically, my family does a Christmas exchange. So instead of getting gifts for everyone, we all pull out of a virtual hat and we have a limit. We all get a bunch of gifts for each other. This is cool. I want this guy. Obviously, I'm disabled. I struggle to bend over because of my back and the tumor. So, especially going to my right. My left, not so much. So first, it's a little flashlight. Boom, right? On an extendable rod. But why is it extendable rod? Because it has this flexible head and it's magnetic. So if I drop something metal on the ground, let's say a little screw from working on a computer falls on the ground, I could highlight the light to find it, go down to the magnet head, extendable, pick it up, right? Then just turn it off, push it back in, and it uses like one little clock battery style. And this comes with like 4 extra batteries. So I'm leaving it in a nice looking box. So that was a cool gift number 1. The other, some other gifts I got was some like bear claws, which look, I should have pulled those over here. They look like martial arts weapons. I swear to God, like with their cooking claws to pull pork or pull beef or whatever apart. But this is the coolest gift I've gotten in a long time. This is Letters from Father Christmas. Okay, and what this is a collection of the letters that J.R.R. Tolkien wrote to his children as Santa Claus over the years. I think eventually gets to his grandkids too, but and there's all sorts of I think little poems and Christmas wishes and stuff and illustrations and things like that. This is like really cool. I haven't had time to read it yet. I do have to find a cover. I like to do the plastic cover, so I got to order some for this. I'll just protect this. This was really cool. Okay, now on to the unboxing. First, well, I will protect myself. I don't think I'll dox myself with this one. So, okay. So last week I opened up my Radiant Black Volume One. So there's like 30 issues of this out already, and I wasn't gonna buy into it because the early issues are like $5, $6, $7, $8 a shot. I don't have the money to blow that right now. Well, I could technically do it at better things, but man, I enjoyed those first 7 issues compressed into one. These are really nice. I mean, they list for $16 or $17, but I've got both of them on Amazon for like $8. So, um, so they're trying to clear these out. So, and this is from Dark Horse's Massive Verse. It's a decent little superhero universe to what I've read of it so far. I think I will have current issues in the box I'm going to open. I don't remember offhand. So how do I put it? I would recommend Radiant Black as a series to at least the first 7. I'll have a more formal opinion when I go through this. The artwork is good. It's, I enjoyed this. Okay. Now, let's deploy some alternative anti-doxing technology because every time I open these boxes, I tend to dox myself. I don't see anyone out there yet, which is okay. It's not. Y'all don't have to come to my show if you don't know or don't want to. When you're protecting yourself from being doxxed by these packages, make sure you cover the barcode because if someone has it, they know with the barcode scanner, they can scan and kind of get your address out of it. I'm being overly cautious, of course. Of course. So I put in Mr. Ed. Okay. I think that's enough. I'll use my Decepticon knife. I need well packaged products from things from the World Comics. I think I did switch to FedEx for my shipments only because I think it's when I don't know. I don't remember why I switched to FedEx, but I did. Oh. They have some tape on the inside here. I would just like triple dox myself right there. So I've stopped getting them bagged and board from because I have like 100 or 150 bags and boards I want to use up to at least get down to only having 20 of them extra, like the just in case amount. There's no point of having it 100. I don't know if I bought a 200 pack or whatever. But it was a big pile, kind of in that bad. I think you saw it last weekend. So I'm gonna get my stuff on bagged and boarded for now, just to use those up. And though the price per point, it might make sense to buy. I have to do the math on what bags and board. I bought these years ago, and bags and board were dirt cheap. I think I want to buy them back in 2019. After the Great Flood, when I had to save as many of my comics as I could. I'd open up every old bag and board, see which thankfully my storage method protected most of my, well, not most, only they protected more comics than I thought I would have, because I lost the majority of them. But luckily, a lot of those were like junky things I didn't really want to read again. But stuff when you're a kid, I'll get every issue of I don't know, All-Star Squadron or whatever, Um, Anywho, what I'm getting at is, so I bought those boards and bags and boards years ago. It was a 100, 200 pack of combo, and I think I only paid like $8 for them. I think now that's like a $10, $12 or something. It'd be way more expensive now, from what I understand. So I'll use those up, and now when you get them not without the bag and board, they still package them pretty well in these big magazines. This big bag is called a magazine bag, by the way. So if you order a magazine with a bag and board, that's what it would have. Okay. Okay. Let's clear the coast, as it were. So what did I get in this order? Void Rivals. There should be 2 issues of this in here. There it is. Void Rivals 2 and 3. So the new Transformers comic that's out, this is the main title in that little universe that Kirkman is doing for the Transformers. Void Rivals is like the main title, and the Transformers comic is a spin-off technically of this. Okay, so let's take a look inside. Kirkman himself is writing this one. And here's some splash pages. Who's our artist? Let's check our cast of our crew out. So Robert Kirkman, Lorenzo De Felice, Matthias Lopez, Russ Wooten are the main guys. So De Felice is the artist, Lopes is the colorist, Wooten is the letterer. Then there's the extended team. Sean McKenzie is the editor, and Andres Juarez, logo and publication, Julian Crabb production. Here's some people. Right? I really dig the art here. Right. Let's take a look inside number 3. These are well put together books. This is a Quintesson on the cover. And these are $4 image books, and they're good. I think they're good quality for $4. What else is in there? The Witcher Wild Animals, numbers 2 and 3. All right. So our story is by Bartosz Sisbor. Art is by Natalia Rorenkina. Colors is Patricio Del Pesce. Letters Hassan Otoman Oluhu. Colorist is Augustina Vallejo. I wonder if she is related to the Vallejos. This is also a Dark Horse comic. These seem like there are less pages than Void Rivals, but we'll see. Take a look-see inside. This is a 4-issue miniseries, which I think it's a preferred format for stuff. I like miniseries more than I like regular series now. Okay, this is from Dark Horse. I did a lot of Dark Horse in here. I think everything here is is actually Dark Horse at this point. Or Image. It's some Image. Okay. Uh, this is by Bendis, and Alex Malev is the artist. Well, no, the artist is. It's got to be Alex Malev. I hate when they don't list it. So this is the art inside. I believe this is a sci-fi comic from the limited amount I saw. I mean, is this Alucard? I know it's not Alucard, but look at. Okay. So these three are from Image Comics, the Massive Verse. These are Rogue Sun, the latest issues in the Massive Verse, Rogue Sun, and the two Radiant Black issues. Okay. Rogue Sun is written by let's get open. Ryan Perrott is the writer. Abel Marco Renna is the artist. I'm not going to go over his names. Some individual art. Here's the whole team. Still got no one out there, which is fine. Doesn't have to be anyone out there. Right. I really dig the cover. The cover of this issue is what made me interested in the whole Massiverse. I liked like kind of solar powered looking superheroes a lot, and this reminds me of Starfire, the real Starfire, not the garbage Starfire they turned her into. This is part of some an arc in Radiant Black. So those are our books. No one's on, so I'm just going to keep going with working on the comics. I can do this without hurting myself. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is what I have left as far as bags and boards go. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I grabbed the pile. Let's see if I just randomly grab the right amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Close, but no cigar. There's 8. And of course, we got eight bags out. Now, I want to pull the bags out one at a time because comic bags sometimes will come out and change. So you will see me do the bagging and boarding live. Now, you may say, which side goes on the comic? If you pay enough, you can get 2 smooth sides. But if you only have the one smooth side, that goes to the comic, which means when you put it in the bag, like the part with the fold over is the front. And the reason you put the board in first is so because this will actually bend weak comics. Okay, so the board straightens that out. I'm not going to close it up, but I want to read these, so I will refrain from taping them shut for a bit. Okay. I almost pulled out like 5 or 6 of them in one shot. So let's get this in here. Still no one out there, so I'll just keep going with the bagging and board and talking. So type down below, since no one's here watching live, type down below any questions for me for later. I can always answer them. What are you looking forward to in hobbies for 2024? Godzilla, Kong, The New Empire, whatever it's called. Dune Part 2. There's another movie. There's 3 movies I saw. Oh, Furiosa. There's another one. Looking forward for that. There's also what else? And there's other. That's the main hobby related stuff I know of coming out. You know, I got some lifestyle changes to deal with next year. I'm working on prepping for a new job, which I got to work more and better. You know, hopefully by the end of February I'll have a certification down. I can honestly probably pass the test. Oops, off the top of my head, but I'm trying to read through the manual just to be thorough. But there's like a $700 certification, and that is why you don't pull them out. I just dropped a bag somewhere and it disappeared. Live, folks. Live. You never know what's going to happen live. Looks like someone joined up. I don't see anyone there yet. I see 2 people watching now. And my arthritis is making this difficult. So let's get Rogue Sun in there. By the way, when you put the comic in, if you can't do the foldy this way, which one has the board in it, that's tough to do, right? You angle, put the spine first, get that in, then rotate so you can pay attention so you don't wreck this corner and put it in the bag. Right? I also have some articles to go over when I'm done with this. So got 2 people in. For some reason, I really dig this cover. Yeah. I mean, I'll be close to the attractive woman or whatever, but I like the art palette. I like the skin tone. I like the contrast with it just appeals to me. Anyway, let's get into that. Let's get in the protective cover. Also interesting to note, not all comics are consistently of the same width anymore. This one, even though both were from Dark Horse, I'm sorry, this Image comic book is technically slightly wider. I don't know if you can see that or not. Right, if you look at the edge of comic, it's hard to tell. The Image comic is wider than the Dark Horse comic. Which kind of would make a little sense. They are different publication houses, so they would have different physical printers. There are people, I almost did it by accident, put 2 comics in one. I can't stand that. That to me is asking for your cover, your front cover and back cover on 2 comics in one. Now, I I have seen people do the both faces way. Again, same thing. I want this to protect this, not to separate. I know this is a little boring watching me bag and board comics. Um, I'm almost done. I'm trying to see if I can get more than. I have one other person watching. This will be done in another minute. Then I'll go over the articles. Man, I gotta change. I keep putting it off. I gotta change the batteries in this headset. And that sounds joking. It's a soldered-in lithium-ion battery. So, and I don't have solder tools. I bought these like I don't know 10 years ago, and they're a great headset. And do I spend $15 on a battery and then $20 on a good soldering kit, or do I get? But it's a good headset. I'd not want to. Why give it something that works awesome? Almost done. 2 more comics. The bag and the border. Bag into the border. Border. As I said, Void Rivals, the main title in the Transformers, Kirkman Transformers universe. Oh, here we go. We got the last bag and the last board. You may say, Matt, why don't you put these in at the same time? I prefer for maximum chance to reduce any damage to the comic. We seal that. Put that up there. I will have to dig out that missing comic bag that disappeared under my desk later. Okay, so the unboxings are over. Man, every time I look at that Father Christmas thing, I want to just stop what I'm doing and read it. But I'm trying not to read it until I get the protection for it, so I don't actually do damage to it. Okay, so as far as we're going to get with people, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. Here we go. There we go. As you know, I am an H.P. Lovecraft fan. If you saw my unboxing last week, okay? And over the years, there have been some good directors who've tried to do Lovecraft adaptations. There's a Call of Cthulhu movie that's a Spanish language movie from Spain, that which would be the El Castellano, which would be from the 90s or early 2000s, which is pretty good. Even though it's not the Call of Cthulhu, it's actually an adaptation of another short story that just escapes me at the moment. But anyway, like for years and years, Guillermo del Toro has wanted to do At the Mountains of Madness, and every time he gets close to that project, it gets sidetracked. But honestly, I'd rather see him not. I don't like when Guillermo del Toro has total control of a project. He tends to mess them up, right? So anyway, so who is doing Call of Cthulhu? Let's find out. Although his final project for DC Studios' Aquaman Lost Kingdom may be floundering at the box office, James Wan has already set his eyes on the next production. No stranger to the horror and thriller genres, the filmmaker's next project will be an adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's classic novel, Call of Cthulhu. Now, this part is stupid. While not much is known plot-wise, as this, like, why wouldn't Audiences can expect Wan to stay close to the book story and the first opportunity of the Dream Project. Like, what? Why would you? That's one of the most stupid sentences ever constructed in the English language. But anyway, so James Wan can do horror. He gets how to do horror that's not just jump scare spam. So this I approve of. Next, we'll go over some sad news. Richard Franklin died. He played Captain Mike Yates in Doctor Who in the classic, everyone calls the classic series. So I'll call it that. He was in the late '80s. Let me take a quick drink for a Diet Pepsi. For Pepsi, I'm willing to set the Diet Pepsi sponsorship. So, excuse me. I'm sorry. I did that on there. Oh my God. Please forgive me. Richard Franklin. What the? Richard Frank. I'm not sharing this. Here we go. Richard Franklin was best known for his roles in Doctor Who and Emmerdale. Died on early Christmas morning at the age of 87. The news was confirmed by longtime friend Liam Rudden, who shared the news via social media on behalf of the family. Yeah, and Captain Mike. He was also on Blake 7. Yes, was he Avon? No, he wasn't Avon. Now I'm curious. Blake's 7. I remember him. I don't remember which character. Yeah, he had to be a background character. He was not one of the mains on Blake 7. But I remember his face. Okay, so he played a Federation trooper. That's why I remember his face, but not the character's name. Okay. Anywho, so I want to load up some classic Doctor Who and show you some of Mike Yates in episode 3 of Terror of the Outons. There'll be no audio. I'm just showing you only a couple seconds of this. There's John Pertwee as the great third Doctor, and his Captain Mike Yates should appear on screen in a few seconds. There he is, standing next to the Brigadier, of course. Now, his story on Doctor Who is pretty interesting. So he was a reoccurring character as Mike Yates. He was integral to the unit. He was getting good screen time, but he really didn't want to be an actor. He really wanted to be a director. So, when Planet of the Spiders came around, which was the last serial for John Pertwee, it's the one he regenerated at the end of, right? They had to write him out. So what they decided to do was to make him a traitor who was mind controlled by the giant spiders. Yes, they're giant. Planet of the Spiders, people. But it's an awesome serial. It's one of my favorite Pertwee serials. It's probably one of my favorite reasons for the Doctor to regenerate, by the way. Anyway, so they made it, and what happened at the end, after the spider's mind control was removed, he was given a psychiatric. He was given an honorable discharge, but he wasn't, because he was mind controlled. But he could only work for UNIT. So that's how they wrote him out of the show. It was pretty cool because they hid the fact that he was a traitor for you saw him in the private sector, right? But he hid the fact he was a traitor very well. A little more of that. And then he's a brigadier's adjutant there. And there's Joe Grant. There you go. go back to here you go. So next up, 1980s sci-fi thriller being saved, and we can't wait. Everyone's been talking about the 4K release of James Cameron's The Abyss, but what about the other 1989 film full of undersea aliens and dangers? We're talking, of course, about the perennial overlooked Leviathan. There was another film called Deep Star 6, which was also pretty good. Personally, I liked this movie more than I liked The Abyss. Now, The Abyss Extended Edition was way better. The cast of this is Peter Weller, of course, the guy who played Winston, all these actors, Richard Crenna, we probably most recognized from Rambo as Colonel Troutman. This is the actress with Tina McGee on the Flash TV show. This is Hector Elizondo who played a doctor on St. Elsewhere, most famously. Right. So Ernie Hudson, okay. And Stan Winston did the special effects. Here we go. Leviathan stars RoboCop himself, Peter Weller, and Ernie Hudson, who trades in his proton pack for an oxygen tank. The biggest star, however, is the creature effects produced by makeup and SFX legend Stan Winston. Okay, so we go. So it's been remastered for 4K. I'm going to get this. I anticipate this greatly. And, of course, the importance of physical media. Okay, what to go to next? Let's start with the least worst of. All Prime Video accounts. So all Prime Video accounts will soon feature ads unless you pay extra. Well, think of it this way. The majority of Amazon Prime users don't even use Prime Video. By the way, if you ever wonder what you get for Amazon Prime, the email they sent you for this will tell you they're going to charge you where you will see ads unless you pay the extra $3 or whatever. Which I have no intention of doing because I maybe watch Amazon Prime Video like once a month for an hour, The list of stuff you get for Amazon Prime is amazing. Okay. And people don't even use a half of it. And it's still, even though only using 1/10 of what you get for Amazon Prime, it's still worth pound for pound. It's the best money you ever spent. So the other issue with this is I think a sign that someone in the finance side said, wait a minute, all those garbage TV shows that you're having us spend billions on, they're not producing any additional revenue. We're still making the same amount before or from book sales and whatever. So we'll put this fee on because your TV shows have better start pulling their weight. And I think that's part of why this got approved. This price increase got approved. Oh, excuse me. Following tradition of other streaming platforms like Netflix and Disney Plus, Prime Video announced today to subscribers that limited advertising will soon be included with all existing subscriptions. The difference with other platforms, Amazon is not including separate ad-supported tier for subscribers. Okay. Sorry for the silence. I was thinking about something. In email directed at members, Prime states that for additional $2.99 per month, your account will become an ad-free one. I'm not paying for that. Honestly, an ad or two, for those who watch a limited amount of Prime, ain't going to kill you. Now, if you watch a lot of Amazon Prime, it might be worth it, but if that's your only TV source, it might be. But now, if you're not in the U.S., this is of questionable legality. So back over on a window into my server. So wait till it appears. Here we go. So this is on my my VPN, my VM that's VPN installing the high seas. This is a program called Audios One, and the main thing you can do with it is get like free like internet radio. Uh, like here if I you know if I would if I now watch wrong, I'm going to search for uh let's see Nightwish. Oh, that's my music. I wanted to. Sorry, I meant to go to radio. Try it again. So everything it could find, it could have all. It could have 56 with stations broadcasting Nightwish. Right. So let's say I want to find Trans Siberian Orchestra. No stations found. I know there's a hyphen in there somewhere, so I'm just gonna. Okay, it's got one place. The North Pole Radio could play. Could play. So that means that radio station will play it, right? Hey, Copa, how you doing, Paisan? How's the wife and the bambina? I'm showing off a program called Audios, which is a way for people to get meat in the U.S. It's legal. What you do with it may or may not be legal, but it's a way to get media. I'll put it that way. It's also a video. Oh, there should be nothing here. So you'll find nothing there, right? But what you can do, and you'll have to television. Like this is if you can put all your scanned media in here or whatever, right? So so this is if you want to set up a Plex media server, this is an alternative. But there's a way with this program which I cannot describe on the air, where you can find YouTube videos for on how to capture anything you see on screen, and then you can edit the commercials out. So hypothetically, assuming you're in the U.S. and have legal Amazon Prime, you could have this thing capturing your show your thing, then go and edit out the commercial and deal with it that way. I'm just saying what you do with it is up to you. Now let's back to our articles. It's not print and share screen. All Prime. Okay. So I'm going to go with the negative first. Seriously. Now, I'm going to do this live on the air. Before you make any reaction when you see something like this, because this is Ring to Prime, it's garbage and all that, before you complain about race baiting and switching, you should see if they're setting a trap for you, right? How do you do that? Well, the first thing you do is click on something that actually works. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Google. You're going to type in the actor's name. In fact, I will do it so you can see it. His name is Gavi or Davy. Gavi Singh Chira. He's a theater actor. So the first thing we want to do before we overreact is to look the guy up and then type in ethnicity, because they set traps with these guys. Okay, so he's British, but he's pure-blooded Indian. Nothing wrong with that. But see, with the actor who played Newton, they set a trap for people by because the guy was actually half native English, and they set a trap for people who were complaining about it, calling it race switching, when in fact the guy was half English. So whenever you see these alternate castings, before you fall for the obvious trap, you always have to look the people up before you get caught with your uh, with your thumb up your ass. So let's go back to the article now. Okay, so I mean, I could go on for hours about what's wrong with Amazon Prime. Okay, but okay, people, this is them doubling down on giving it to you, right? So they're going to Sauron. I don't even know where to. My brain is so locked up over this bullshit. They only have like indirect access to anything outside those appendices. Now, there's some debate over when the lawsuit settled and the Embracer Group got the rights. Amazon rights got extended slightly so that they can kind of reference stuff from the other stuff, but they can't talk about it. Like they can reference stuff from the First Age or Lord of the Rings or whatever, but they can't use any of the stuff from those. They can only use the parts that occurred in the Second Age, in the appendices. But they can reference characters from before or elsewhere, right? So Sauron in the lore, like all the Ainur, which are the Valar and the Maya, are angels essentially. Okay. In Sauron's case, he's a fallen angel. He's the chief servant of Melkor, who is Satan. In the lore, the Valar, of course, have no physical form and could look like anything. So in theory, he could look like this, right? Why? But now, in the actual Lord of the Rings Legendarium, Tolkien's Legendarium, why he would look like anything other than a Caucasian European dude is stupid. It's utterly stupid. When they had Haldor as Sauron in the first season, you know, he did a good job. I mean, for what he was given, I like that actor's role, so to speak. And now we have another actor playing Sauron. This is probably going to be flashback Sauron, right? Unless they're stupid enough to think that another guy shows up to help them forge rings and I don't know, because they forged the rings backwards in the show. Okay, what happened? It took about 100 years to forge the elven all the rings, the nine for mortal men, the seven for dwarves, and eventually two for elves and the one. And what happened is after they had forged all the rings for the dwarves and mortal men, Sauron thought, well, my work is done. He went back to Mordor and Mount Doom to forge the One Ring. And while he was in the process of forging the One Ring, Celebrimbor forged the three Elven Rings. Sauron had nothing to do with it, no hand involved at all. They were not tainted, the three Elven Rings, right? And as soon as he created the One Ring and put it on, he knew that there were three more rings, but the elves were such willpower that they were capable of removing the rings before they could mind controlled by him. And that's primarily because Sauron had no direct hand in it, only his ring lore was used, which is why he could tie them to the One Ring, but he couldn't mind control the elves immediately. And the elves, of course, had very high willpower, right? Because they were all they were basically still like Noldor from the Undying Lands at the time. So that led to the war of the Sauron and the elves, the torture and murder of Celebrimbor, and so on and so forth. So when is this flashback? Is this going to be a flash? There already is no Anatar, right? Unless Anatar is the one who came to the elves, and Celebrimbor was the only one who really fell in with him and took the ring lore and forged the rings. Is this going to be the original appearance of Sauron in the First Age? Is that what they're going to tell people? That Sauron, a master of deception, is going to look like not the regular people of the continent? So sorry about that, guy. That was Hey Dempsey, welcome to the show. You'll probably have to listen to. I was talking about this Sauron casting bit here. Again, there's nothing good that's going to come of this. only gonna get worse. I heard a funny sound like metal clashing. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, so there's no way this improves the show. The show is shit on the shingle to begin with, and oh, Copa, do you remember the Italian for shit on the shingle? Not Cacciacutilio. When you're a little kid and you were bad, and your Italian parents and grandparents would tell you what you're getting for Christmas, and they would say something, and it meant shit on the shingle. And see, the thing is, to them, this is not a political casting, Dempsey. This is just them improving the Lord of the Rings because Tolkien was from a prior time when he was racist and didn't know better. You know, even though the British were already, the Indians were already part of the British Empire at the time, but anyway. So I can't. I'm trying now. I'm stuck trying to remember what the Italian for shit on a shingle. Okay, so this will not improve anything. This will make this is going to be make it less likely. Okay, so let's go on to my last prepared article, which is science and good science. I have all the tabs for the pre-selected articles are in the uh, description. Okay, I've cleaned up my UI a bit. So the startup is developing a fusion propulsion drive for deep space travel that could reach Mars in 2 months. This is from the debrief. Now I'm not going to read the whole article, but Helicity Space, a startup founded in 2018, is developing. Dempsey, I know what you mean when you say it's 100% political, but to them, it like to the people running the cult, there's politics involved. To the people in the cult, like the showrunners for this, who are just mindless drones, there's no politics. It's just this is the danger of the cult, Dempsey. They actually believe this stuff. Like the people running the cult, the politicians and the corporate uniparties and whatnot, the Marxists, they understand it's political and they're using it for political purposes. But all their cult members who have doing actual dirty work, to them, this is actually improving stuff. They actually think they're doing good. And that's just why it's more dangerous. That's why I'm saying it the way I'm saying it. Because, anyway, Helicity Space, a startup founded in 2018, which I'll get back to in a minute, is developing a fusion drive poised to transform space travel. With a fresh round of investment, the company is developing a proof of concept for a fusion-powered propulsion system that can get from Earth to Mars in just 2 months. In a recent press release, the space startup recently secured. Who's the type editor? Recent press release and recently something should have been changed there. Secured a $5 million in seed funding from Airbus Ventures, Trey Ventures, Voyager Space Holdings, E2MC Space, Urania Ventures, and Gangles. Those are basically all venture capitalists investing in like things like nuclear fusion in space. And the main reason I am pointing this article out, aside from the cool technology, is starting around, what's it, 2024 now? So starting around 2015, there was a massive private capital investment in nuclear fusion and space technologies. Elon Musk's main thing, even though he has Tesla is just to make money to do SpaceX, okay? The reason he purchased Twitter is not, yes, it involves free speech and all that he's big on that, but he also, as it turns out, Twitter is one of the optimal ways to communicate between planets where time, how do you put it? Time, the non-real time nature of communications matters, right? So Jeff Bezos, while his company still owns Amazon, he himself is working on his space company, which is contract asteroid mining, and his biomed company, which is working on advanced pharmaceuticals and molecular engineering of new medicines and stuff like that. So there's a massive, what people aren't paying enough attention to, in my view, a massive private sector investment in space and high tech that's been going on since 2015, which is why I think, I might not quite live to see it. I am 50. I'm not in the greatest shape. If I made 70, I'm pretty sure I would see a nuclear fusion reactor commercial for the first time. Um, um, I'm thinking it's going to happen in the 2030s. Around 2035 is when I think, between 2030 and 2035 is when I think the first commercial fusion reactor is going to be put online. Okay, but so those of you who aren't really keeping up with this technology, that's I think pretty interesting to do so. So those are my prepared articles, right? Um, it's 4 o'clock. We have made good time. We did. Uh, Dempsey, you weren't here, so you can go back to the beginning. I showed off my comic books as well as my uh, as well as my favorite Christmas gift, the letters from Father Christmas from Tolkien. Uh, so I'll finish my show the way I usually finish it up, and I will find 2 to 5 random articles to talk about and field any questions from the audience. So let's take a look. See at let's go to Bounty in the Comics. Okay, we got a leak about Godzilla Kong the New Empire. If you don't want to be spoiled on the leak, go away. Because I have perfectly fine with spoilers on stuff like this. So Godzilla X Kong, when you see this, by the way, this Godzilla X Kong, and it's a Japanese convention, you don't say the X, you just say Godzilla Kong. Like the anime and manga Hunter x Hunter, you don't say Hunter X Hunter, you just say Hunter x Hunter, right? Mhm. So Godzilla Kong the Empire. Now I know a million Americans are going to start 100 million Americans are going to start saying Godzilla X Kong, and it's going to be the way people say it. I know that. I just know it's going to happen. But whatever. So I believe this movie comes out in the first 2 quarters of 2024. Hey. However, beyond the usual speculation, low-hanging fruit given away by the scrutiny of the trailer, one individual claimed to be revealed via Twitter X that Godzilla Kong will be host to the MonsterVerse Homecoming of a truly legendary total character. So spoilers. X account Divinity Secret presented all they're supposed to know about Godzilla Kong saw back, and they see this here is why Americans are going to start calling it Godzilla X Kong, because they're using that abbreviation instead of GK. And their inside knowledge focused on the hierarchy of the characters in the story. Here's the tweet. First off, Dan Stevens. He claims Dan Stevens is his new actor, and his character's name is Trapper, and he's friendly with Kong, and they're saying he does really well. The main villain is the first ever Titan and an Ice Age type Titan. He caused the Ice Age. Okay. Mothra returns. Right. The account is clearly referring to the creature already identified as Shimo, an ancient common ancestor to the Titans that might fall under the authoritarian control of the Scar King, who was the first new Titan we were introduced to in the initial teaser for Godzilla Kong. Now I want to talk about this right here, the Ice Age Titan they caused the Ice Age. This is pretty interesting because look up the Younger Dryas event, which was the end of the last Ice Age, and it was a catastrophic ending. So I wonder if they're going to tie that in, because they're already talking about the ancient lost civilizations that people are speculating about in our real world, Göbekli Tepe, Gunung Panggang, the pyramid in Indonesia, uh, the tunnels they're finding all over Turkey. Turkey is it? These hundreds of underground complexes with tunnels like miles underground connecting each other. Oh, there you go. Yep, Christy. So that's an interesting possible tie-in to that, right? The lore, so to speak. Much this was previously established in prior release, but Divinity Secret lays a surprise on the follows we sure haven't heard anywhere else. In the thread, they say Mothra returns, but don't provide further details. When last we saw the Queen of the Monsters, she returned to a larval stage
after dying by the gravity beam, though not before throwing her essence like Godzilla at the climax, King of the Monsters, right? Okay, so that's how Mothra gets reborn. She either goes back to being a larva or she has kids. That's standard. There's an epic zero-gravity fight scene at the end of the movie due to the Ancestors' powers. Godzilla's role is fairly minor again, but his lore is central to the story. He defeated the first Titan eons ago, and it's Kong who tries to set everyone in motion. Very campy. Okay, I'm already down on this. Then make this a Kong movie. Don't even have Godzilla in the damn thing. Okay? Now, we know in the original lore for 2014 that Godzilla himself is over 300 million years old. So the question is, are they keeping that lore? And in other words, is Godzilla from a prior age of Titans type of thing? We don't know. But we anyway, I really, if Godzilla is going to be minor, I don't want him in this movie. I don't want after Godzilla -1, which was awesome. I really don't want to see something like this. Same thing again. Oh, on a roll. What they should have done is just make this a Kong movie and have a separate Godzilla movie. Hey, Conroy, welcome to the show. They should have. I thought that this should be Godzilla Kong. This should just be Kong, the New Empire, about the Hollow Earth, and Godzilla could do another thing on the surface. This is stupid to me. I'm already down on this film. I don't even want to talk about Doctor Who. I just can't. There's an article, you know. Let's go 406. Let's try to find 2 to 4 more articles. Cosmic Book News. Nothing new to talk about here. Bleeding Fool. Yeah, don't need to talk about that. Okay. I like Bleeding Fool because they'll give you they'll talk about comic books that are not just Marvel and DC. So, for example, this is a DC post, but James Gunn says Tom King integral to his DCU films. That should tell you don't even bother with his DC films because Tom King is a hack. Then I see this Florida Man vs. Hogzilla, and I have to find it. I'm going to have to buy this comic book. It's by Mike Barron. I'm just going to have to get it. Oh, it's a campaign, so let's check his campaign out. They're fully funded. What is stretch goal? What does this cost? Because this is something I'll throw money into. Okay, so I'll have to go to Indiegogo and see options. So $10 gets you the digital 1 to 3, all digital 17, $25 for the main print. $50 for main set volumes 1 and 2. Okay, so for $50 you'd get the original graphic novels, the digital edition, and you'd get the new thing. That's interesting. I mean, I'm not going to do this live now, but this comic looks interesting. But back to what I was talking about. So, I mean, I like Bleeding Fool because they have comics that are not just Marvel and DC. For 10, let's see. Let's try to find Dark Horizons. So for those, I mean, I have my regulars here: Copa, Dempsey, Conroy. There's four. So many Pops is. Apparently I become drive time radio for some people. Pops has been doing that. There's four listening now. Uh, so I will always try to do from 3 p.m. to 4:15. If I have guests eventually, I'd like to have some guests on. That include you guys in my audience here. Uh, or if I have something big to talk about, or if the unboxings go long. Like today, I think I unboxed for well, it went quick and it was bang and boarding. But I'll try to always go to at least 4:15 to an hour 15 minutes, so you guys can plan that. And if it goes longer, it's only because I have a lot more to talk about, a lot more unboxings, or I have guests. Uh, Dark Horizons changed their website a bit. Okay. Used to be instead of all these big links up here, the tabs, you'd get straight to the section down here. Here's the black and white trailer for Godzilla -1. Look at that still, man. This is such an amazing movie. Hopefully, I won't get dinged too much. I'm going to skip through this. Look at this in black and white. Oh my god! Wow. Wow. Just look at it. Wow. So we go before I get dinged. I'll go back over there. That is amazing. Amazing looking in black and white. But it's amazing in color too. Trusty old giant freaking robot. The DCU is doomed before it begins for one honorable reason. I say that honorable reason is Tim King. No, this okay. So this bullshit. This is bullshit right here. Um, this James Gunn. This is already being set up to fail because we hear about the woke elements creeping in, Tom King being involved in all that, right? So now they're already getting ready to plant the idea of superhero fatigue, which doesn't exist. There's no superhero fatigue. The fatigue that exists is woke, bad writing fatigue. So this article is an attempt to make excuses for forthcoming failure. What the heck happened here? Pete Davidson is known for making audiences laugh. I mean, Saturday Night Live sucks, and so does this guy. From about, however, seen the summer between silly punches. Says I can film. Who cares? So let's go. Yeah, normie fatigue. Yep. I mean, think about this, Dempsey. They've been claiming there's been Western fatigue for, I don't know, since the 1970s, basically, right? Yet there have been many, many great Westerns that have come out since 1970. Unforgiven, the True Grit remake, even though I think the original True Grit is still better. Pale Rider. Clint Eastwood, two of them, obviously. Tombstone came out in the 90s. You know, there's more. I'm just saying there have been great westerns since the 70s. Including Fatigue, you know, but the issue with the Fatigue is for bad writing and woke. Okay, it's 4:15, so I will do Young Guns. Yeah, Young Guns. Yep, yep. Let's go and grab one or two more articles, and we'll call it a day. Nothing leaping out here. Let's go outside the genre and look at like the Hollywood Reporter. Oh, so the Smother Brothers. One of the Smothers, Tommy Smothers. Is it Tommy or Tracy? There were Tommy and Tracy. One of the Smother Brothers. No Country for Old Men. There you go. Or even Justified, the original Justified. That was a great Western TV show, right? Or all the Westerns going on now. Yellowstone, although Kevin Costner destroyed it. For 1883 was one of the best Western TV shows of all time for the one season I had. Bass Reeves. I have to watch the rest of Bass Reeves. I'm getting a little tired of the stupid flashbacks. What else? 1923. If they do the second season, 1923, it's going to be awesome. You know. Anyway, one of the Smothers Brothers died. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember the Smothers Brothers, but there used to be a lot of variety TV, and they were big on that. My mom will probably tell when the Smothers died. That was kind of sad news. So I have two deaths. I have Richard Franklin, who was Captain Mike on Doctor Who, died this week, and of course the Smothers. Yeah, okay, I'm about to wrap it up. Oh, I didn't do any music. Metal Injection. There we go. So here, right off I get something I can talk about. So I like Anthrax. Now, for those who don't know who Joey Belladonna is versus versus John Bush, rather, Joey Belladonna, I don't know if he was kicked out because of drugs or whatever, but he left Anthrax, and Anthrax got the lead singer of Armored Saint, who is a lesser known metal band who everyone should go listen to. Okay, you all should go listen to Armored Saint. Armored Saint has the best album covers. Yeah, I know. That's funny, Dempsey. Armored Saint has, matter of fact, why even say it? You know. Okay, these are the covers for Armored Saint's albums. I bought this band's albums or cassettes actually back then, but solely because of I didn't even know they were a metal band. Yeah, that's Anthrax. Um, but I bought Armored Saint solely because of all these awesome album covers and found a great metal band. Right. Uh, my favorite Anthrax album is actually one with John Bush was the lead. It's Only is on it. Hyper Glow is on it. The Sound of White Noise. It's called The Sound of White Noise. It's a great. It's probably their most serious album, and I love that album. But anyway, going back to the article I'm talking about, Joey Belladonna left, and this is for some reason fans can't like just accept like it's like Nightwish when Nightwish kicked Tarja out because she was being a bitch, and then they got Annette to sing for a couple of years, and she was a good singer, but she wasn't Tarja's level. She wasn't Annette is a very good singer, right, in Nightwish, but she isn't the type of singer that Tarja was or that Floor is. Tarja still is that type of singer, by the way. So they had it. She was limiting Nightwish's sound, so they kicked her out and got Floor. And there are a lot of fans of each of the three lead singers who refuse to listen to songs from the other eras of the band. And I'm like, just listen. Don't worry about that sort of stuff. This isn't like the stupid stuff that like where the Heart on Heart. Now there's two bands called Heart. There's because each sister can't agree to make money hand over fist together. They have to sing the same song separately with each half the band. You know. Well, Kill Switch Engage. Uh, I would say Kill Switch Engage. It really depends on how good a singer you think Ozzy Osbourne was, especially when he was younger. If I were ranking my all-time greatest metal singers from a pure enjoyment point of view, you get Ozzy's going to be in the top 5, with the caveat that Ozzy has voice, even though it still sounds the same, he doesn't have the depth for the last 10, 15 years of his age, right? But outside of, if you're going to say what band had the highest quality lead singers, Killswitch Engage. Henry Jones, I followed Henry Jones to all his other projects, but the other two guys in Killswitch Engage are amazing. I saw them live at Ozfest with the other lead singer. Henry had left at the time. You know, they were amazing. I met them personally. Like they were going in the crowd after their set. And anyway, so back to Anthrax. You know, if you're a fan of, just enjoy the music, right? Just it's one thing if the band is fighting over who owns the band, like how like what Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young did. That's bullshit. But or the Eagles, that's bullshit. But this is a band, the same band, just changing the lead singer for reasons, and just, I don't know. Okay, so we're almost 4:30, so let's. I feel like doing one more article. I feel like talking for some reason. Oh, here's something interesting. We got a Metallica reveal. Kirk Hammett revealed the unexpected guitarist who shaped Metallica's "Kill 'Em All," which is their first album. His licks are all throughout "Kill 'Em All." So this interview is in Metal Mayhem ROC, so we can go look that up. Okay, so Paul Chapman from a British band UFO. I remember that guy. He apparently was influenced on Kirk Hammett on Kill 'Em All. Okay, that's pretty cool to know. One more. By the way, everyone, Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Stay safe this new year. You know, stay safe in the coming year with the possible chaos coming up. Screen rant. I think we're about done. Yeah, I think we're about done, guys. Any questions out there? Here's Woke Lighter. Does Woke Lighter have anything interesting? So where will I be? I'll be on Friday Fandemonium, obviously, for the next month. I'll be on Jacob Ironside's channel a bunch. Thanks, Dempsey. I'll be on Roman Empire's channel next week on Thursday. I think Lady Balfire is having a Tolkien chill stream tomorrow evening I'll be on that if she is. So that's kind of where I'll be. Updates on my stats, by the way, guys. Let's do a little update on that before we go. So I'm up to 97 subscribers. And that's about 13 subscribers in the last 4 or 5 weeks. I just dropped a Yu Hakusho episode 2 review episode earlier today. If you all want to check that out, that's fine. I should say something about that. The show is better than I thought it would be. I think if you have never heard of the original and didn't ever want to watch an anime or read a manga and watch this, you could enjoy their adaptation of it. That's the way I put it. By tomorrow, I'll have a Reacher of my next Reacher review and my Monarch review probably shortly thereafter. The next Yu Hakusho review up there. I decided I'm going to go back and watch Sharp, which is based on Bernard Cromwell's books. Was starring Sean Bean, who doesn't die in this series, surprisingly. So I think I'll go back and watch that, and maybe do some reviews of that. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, my Reacher reviews have helped me. The episode 3 review, over 1,400 views so far. And initially I got a lot of dislikes, like 4 dislikes to 1 like, but all of a sudden I've surged up to having 7 likes. So people are listening. And my Reacher episode 4 review has 138 and counting. So it didn't quite go as viral for me as episode 3 did. But no, that's not. Yu Yu Hakusho is Yu Yu Hakusho is more like Dragon Ball Z with a better story, meaning it's based around fighting tournaments. That's a whole subset of shonen anime, right? But the characters are very compelling. The setting is pretty cool. The animation is well done. You know, it's one of the influences for Naruto. It's Kishimoto. Some of his favorite manga / anime were Dragon Ball and Yu Yu Hakusho. If you didn't know, if you watch Naruto, Kurama the Nine-Tailed Fox is based on and named after Kurama the Fox Demon Prince in Yu Hakusho. And you will see elements of Urameshi's character in Naruto. But I wouldn't compare Yu Hakusho to Bleach, even though I can see why he might say that. Bleach is not a fighting tournament. Bleach is centered around a storyline in the afterlife. Yu Hakusho is centered around specifically centered around fighting tournaments, which is like more aligns with Dragon. They're both subsets of the same shonen, but different pathways. Anywho, if you've never watched it, Dempsey, if you watch this TV show, and I could at least do the first 3 episodes, it does a good job of giving you an idea of what the anime or manga would be like, and whether you like it or not. Plus, it's well done on its own. I don't know if I'd agree with that. Well, I mean, yes, the Kenpachi are for sure. That's right, both of them. But I don't. You know, Dempsey, have you read or watched all of Bleach yet? Okay, think about this. There's a lot of scenes when I see people watching Bleach for the first time, right, or reading it. Do you remember the scene where Aizen first is a bad guy and Unohana is standing in front of him and he just runs away from her, doesn't even try to harm her? And for years, for like 10 years, fans ask, why didn't Aizen kill her? You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? That is such Kubo has planted so many seeds like that in Bleach. Like you can't watch or read Bleach just once. You have to go back and do it at least 2 more times because of the stuff Kubo plants in it early on. You know? And that scene with Eisen running away from her is such gold. Once you know he was like, you understand why he was running away from her. You know. Um, what else? So my channel. So anyway, yeah, and he kept. Yeah, you're right. He kept doing that. Kubo kept putting the plan where enemies would see her and just run for the hills, and you never understood why. Until the end, because until the end of the show, she is more powerful than anyone except for Old Man Genocide, right? And the five super the super Squad Zero. Um, and until the end, when she passes her role on to Kenpachi and he becomes more powerful, and finally, um, the only one who could outright beat her in a fight is Squad Zero. Yeah, so Old Man Genocide and Squad Zero and Yahweh are the only ones who could beat her until, and then eventually Kenpachi comes along and Zarakai comes along as Bachelor. But that's such a deep lore. Anyway, if you've never watched the Yu Yu Hakusho or read it, Dempsey, and you want to get an idea what the story is like, this show seems like they're doing a good job with a quick paced adaptation. They're taking what looks to be the first 50 or 60 episodes of the anime and putting it into 5 episodes. If you don't know the original story, you're fine with it. If you do, you feel time shortened. But the fight scenes are excellent. The pacing is good. The actors do a great job. So okay, it's 4:31. It's December 29th. I think I've had your ears for long enough. Happy New Year. Stay safe in 2024. Let me get back to my Happy New Year. Stay safe in 2024. My name is Matt. This has been Unbearable 73. There's my little mascot, Unbearable 23, sitting behind me. He's wishing you luck, except when it comes to bears, then he wished you be food. Have a nice weekend. I am out of here.